welcome back. JDS Sport Talks video. I've been gone for a couple of days because I've got a few things with school that I've had to deal with. Because it's end of semester, so there's a few assessments and shit I've had to deal with. And not gonna lie, yesterday I couldn't make a video. I was just being a lazy shit. First story today is like a update story to something I was talking about previously with the wheelchair US Open. I was gonna talk about that 4 days ago whenever I last posted. And I didn't. Actually, I was going to talk about the day after that, which I never made a video of. Obviously, I haven't made one since. But that is the wheelchair tennis. So US Open. The wheelchair tennis and the US Open is back on. Dylan Alcott and all the others that were calling for it to be put back on, calling that it was discrimination, not putting it on, have won, and it is being done. Is going ahead. There will be a wheelchair US Open this year. If you want more information on that, there is an article in the description. If you go back at my previous videos, I believe Alcott is in both thumbnails for those videos. So you can go back on there and look at the listen to what I say if you want, and look at the links in the description of those videos for more information. But you get the general gist from this, I think. And there also is a video at the bottom of this article. So I don't think you should need the other ones, but you can go check them out if you want. They will be obviously in the previous videos on my channel. Now the other two stories today. The first one is, I guess, 3 stories really. Now we're not going to talk about Eagles' horrific season so far. I'm going to ignore that for now. I've already talked about enough. Although I said Port Adelaide would be the game where I decide how our season's going to go, and if we keep playing like this, we're going to go like shit, because we did not really. That last quarter we showed no fight at all. People like Kelly were just 4 meters from the ball, no Eagles player close to them, and they're just jogging by as if they don't even want the ball. It is absolutely unacceptable, and we need a lift in the future. Otherwise, people like Kelly should be dropped. Darling should be dropped. Give him a reason to kick his ass in the gear, because he's just sitting there, completely content with playing like shit by the looks of it. And he's got no really worries about losing position, because there's got no intention from Simpson to remove him to make sure he does lift his game. You know what I mean? There's no one there to threaten his position, so he just doesn't really care, sort of thing. That's what it almost looks like when you're playing. There's no intensity. He was a bit better. He was one of the better players, I have to admit, against Port Adelaide in terms of intensity. Kenny was good against Port Adelaide. I have to give him that. I criticise him a lot now because I don't think he's anywhere near as good as he was, and I think his time really is over. But he did good enough in that game, so I can't deny good performances. He did well. Congratulations to him. That was a good game. On the topic of AFL though, Gold Coast Suns. They're doing very well early on. They're second on the table. Second or first. Anyway, they're doing very well, and Rao is doing well. One of their players, Matt Rao, is doing very well. He'd be top of the Brownlow at this point in the season when we look back at the end of the year. But I do think, like this article suggests that I'm looking at, they won't be able to keep it going. I can't see that happening. They'll get one of their guys injured, or they'll just hit some bad form, and I just can't see Gold Coast Suns continuing this kind of form throughout the season. I just can't see that happening. They're not a strong enough team. You can't rely really on 1 or 2 players all season long, especially if Rao gets injured at the moment. I can now lose every game again, because he seems to be really just pushing the club like Adler did back when he was at the club. He was doing everything for him. The moment he got injured that year, the year where I say is the year which for me puts him to the greatest of all time, where he almost won the Brownlow without playing half the season. That season, the moment he got injured, they fell back. They fell back down to what they'd been doing previously. And the same sort of thing here, I think, with Rao. Once Rao gets injured, if he gets injured, or he goes off form, then I can't see them continuing this run. I can't even see continuing with him in form. I just feel like there's going to be a time where they start to fall apart a bit. As I say, if you want to read up on that, there is an article, as always, with every story I do in the description. That's what I'm going to talk about for now. But there is a very extensive article. It is by ABC News. Everything's obviously through MSN with me. That's how I get all my articles and shit. But this article is written by an ABC News guy. I don't want to specify that. People look at all my links and think, oh, you're always using the same website. But all their articles, I don't think they even write any of their own, because they all have other, like this one now, the Man City one I'm about to look at, is from Reuters or something. Reuters? R-E-U-T-E-R. I don't know how to say that. Obviously with an S at the end. Anyway, this story is Pep Guardiola thinks that Man City need a rebuild to challenge for the title, and I disagree. Look at your squad, mate. You get Koulibaly in, which you've done now, I believe now, just need the contract, and then for him not to pull out, which I doubt he'll do. He's got no reason to, really. I cannot see you not challenging us for the title. We've had a very good season. You dropped off a bit because you didn't have either. Well, we didn't have Globali, obviously, and Ottoman is decent, but it's not good. And you lost Laporte, so you had Fernandinho in the defense. Like, I don't see why you would think that, because you've definitely got the team. Like, you've got Sane, who apparently he doesn't want to be there, but that's what my mates told me as a Man City supporter. I believe it was Sane who was saying he doesn't want to be there. Obviously, you are losing one of the silvers, but you look at that team, and you definitely say worst teams have won the Premier League. Yes, they're coming up against Liverpool in very good form at the moment, but that could all change in a season. We know that. This is sport. Things can change like that. It doesn't take much. But I think you're downplaying your club a little bit. I think you're trying to make it so if you don't do so well next year, for whatever reason, you have a bit of, like, backing behind it, you know what I mean? A bit of cushion, like, oh, well, I said this would happen, we need a rebuild, you know what I mean? You're trying to give yourself a bit of a cushion if they don't do so well next year. Maybe. I'm not saying he is, but then maybe that's what it's doing. Yeah, but I don't see you not challenging us for the title next year. You'll definitely be the second. Especially the way Chelsea are playing. If that's how they're playing next year at the moment, because they lost 4-2 to West Ham or whatever. No, so they lost to... They lost the game as well before. The game before as well. I don't know what's happened in the last 2 weeks, the last 2 games, sorry. But something's happened, and if they play like that next year, then they're not going to challenge either. But I think Man City will definitely challenge us for the EPL title next year. They challenged us this year. They were the closest challengers this year. Not really challenged us, I would say, this year. Now to really the main story of the day. It is Kyrgios, somehow, no offense to him really, is the voice of reason in tennis at the moment. Becker's attacking him for some reason about calling out players for not properly following COVID rules, like Zverev, who's gone out to parties, and then obviously Kyrgios spoke, as I've mentioned previously, I believe, on the Djokovic situation. How can you get angry at Kyrgios for doing that? Like, John Newcomb has backed him, but said it should have been done in private. But if you look back in history, the only way people change their ways really is being publicly humiliated, or in this case, just publicly mentioned about doing something poorly. That's how humans have always responded and actually stop what they're doing. You just tell someone in private, they might change it for a week, and then they go back to what they're doing normally. You know what I mean? So I believe that's no. You can try behind closed doors first, which he might have done for all we know. But if it doesn't work, then I have no problem with him going into the social media and shit to push negative things about someone so they change their ways. Because going out to parties and shit during COVID, especially when you're Kyrgios and you know you're not Kyrgios, when you're Djokovic and you know you've just been tested and you might have coronavirus, it's just completely ridiculously dumb, and it's just stupid. Especially like Zverev is a bit less stupid because he wasn't getting tested at the time, but it's still stupid and it's against the law even. But Djokovic is absolutely ridiculous. And as I said, Becker's come at Kyrgios for saying this. He's called him a rat. I haven't really read through this. I don't know why. Like, I think it says here. It just says he called him a rat. I don't actually know the context of the tweet or whatever he did, calling him a rat. But Becker is not happy. So yeah, I just think he doesn't like Kyrgios, and the fact that he's talking out and telling people what they should and shouldn't say, I think he finds wrong. I found this thing here now. So Becker tweeted, "We all live in the pandemic called COVID-19. It's terrible and it killed... What? And it killed to brackets sick many people. Many lives." I think he's trying to say it killed lots of people. "We should protect our families, loved ones, and follow the guidelines, but still don't like #rat Nick Kyrgios." Like, why? There's no need to have that stupid cheap shot at Kyrgios when he's backing up what you're saying. I haven't actually seen the tweet till then. Tweet? Yeah, tweet. Like, he's backing up your thing, and you're just a little shot for no reason. And he means it. It's not like, a little fun shot. You can tell by the way he's responded since doing that. He is not like a little joke. Oh yeah, #rat Kyrgios sort of thing. He means, like, he does not like Kyrgios. I understand why he wouldn't like him, but he's backing you up here. Don't be a wanker, and just he's trying to fix his ways. Clearly, like, he's got a coach who's trying to help him stop being, like, a mental coach, trying to help him in terms of in game to stop being so crazy. And it's had in terms of what's it called? The Hopman Cup? Is it Hopman Cup? No, that's gone. Whatever Kyrgios, what's the Davis Cup? He's had Hewitt and stuff trying to help him through there to stop the over-the-top stupidity that he does in tennis games. And for you to just lash out at him like this for no reason, really, is just completely stupid. Pull yourself together, Becker. Injedious. Thanks, bye. See you next time. See ya.